truth. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect. I give you aqua to the brothers and sisters of people that believe. All right, and again, it's the brother Bayan from the GMS New Orleans camp. I just want to hop in a quick lesson here. Somewhere on the basis of why chase something that is eventually going to be destroyed, you know? And that alone just doesn't make sense at all. You know, we understand that this place called America, you know, Babylon in the scriptures is going to be destroyed, man. All right, so in no way, shape, or form should we be holding on to anything, man. You know, one of my favorite movie quotes is off the movie Heat. You know, Robert De Niro tells you roughly, you know, paraphrasing what he said, never get caught, you know, how does it go, Salaki? I'm getting a brain fart. Never hold on to anything, never get attached to anything, that's what it is. Never get attached to anything that you can't leave in 30 seconds when the heat is around the corner, something like that, you know. But, you know, it's true. You know, if it's something that has, you know, your attachment, it has your mind, you know, and you can't leave it when you're about to be, you know, compromised in some type of way, that means that is really, you know, bad for you, man. All right? In that sense right there, that's this world, man. You know, you don't want to have anything in this world that's going to have you jammed up in a situation where, you know, you can't serve the Lord, you know. And when destruction comes from the Lord, that you're deciding in your head that, damn, should I not serve the Lord or should I serve the Lord? It should be a no-brainer, man, you know. But I'm gonna jump straight in these scriptures, man. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7 and 29. It says, "But this I say, brethren, the time is short, it remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none." All right, and that's the mindset you want to be in. You know, if you have a wife, you want to be as that you have none, meaning, you know, you want to be in that spirit, that fervent spirit. You know, you want to be as a man that has no worries, you know, that's going on, you know, around him, you know. Because the moment that, again, that if you get too many distractions going on, you know, you can lose sight of the goal, man. You know, your vision can get blurred, you know, if you got too many things going on. All right, so this is not the time for us to be getting distracted, you know, with anything that's going on around us. All right, but again, it says remaineth, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. All right, this is the last times that we're in, man. You know, I like to equate it to, you know, sports terminology, the fourth quarter, you know, with 2 minutes left. All right, so if it's the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left in football or basketball or whatever it may be, you know, this is the time that you really need to lock in. All right, because at this point in time, this is when you can either win the game or lose the game. All right, and you know, our spirits is on trial, man. All right, we're on trial right now, and going through trials to see who's going to make it and who's not going to make it, man. All right, who's going to be of the elect and who's not going to be of the elect. All right, who's going to be of that number? Oh, when the saints go marching in, man. Oh, how I want to be of that number, you know. And you know, it starts now, man. Well, it's been started, but you know, if we have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and still have the ability to go out there and preach, man, you know, to make our calling and election sure, we damn sure need to be doing that, man. You know. And it says, verse 30, "And they that weep as though they wept not, and and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and that and they that buy as though they possess not. All right, you're not trying to get caught up with anything, man. Not possessions, you know, not family members, you know, not anything, you know. Nothing should be able to separate you, you know, what the Apostle Paul said, man. Nothing should be able to separate you from the love of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. All right? And how do you show the Lord that you love him, man? By doing his work. All right? So that means that everything has to go on the back burner, man, including your family. All right? That doesn't mean be a deadbeat, you know. You, as a man, if you have a wife or children, you know, you still have to take care of your children, man. You still have to take care of your wife. You know, you still have to do your due diligence. All right? You know? But it's like with all this noise going on, shit just getting hectic now. Jet skis and niggas pulling up with music. It wasn't like this a minute ago, but hell, they're gonna push through. But continuing on, in verse 31, it says, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. All right, and that's the mentality of a man of the Lord, man. It's someone that's trying to be a hopefully elect. All right, all of the things, the abilities, you know, for us to use the world by any means, do so, man. You know, if you can get over and raise your credit score and make things easier for you, and you know, do whatever to keep you in the right mind spiritually, you know, to keep as much peace as you can in this wicked ass world, do so, man, by any means. You know, if you can make it easy for yourself, do so. All right, because there's gonna be a time where, you know, shit is gonna be just really, really hard. That test is gonna start at some point in time, man. You know, and what I mean by that, you know, we like to say down here, you know, brothers, when it's time to take that test, you know, when you're in school, you know, you don't have no help, you know, around you. You know, it's time for you to work out, you know, your test score, you know, which we know that we have to work out our own salvation. All right, but I think that was it in that. See, yeah, one more time. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and 31. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world pass away, man. So yes, this world is going to pass away. This world is going to pass away, man, and you don't want to be caught holding on to it, man. Like it says in Micah 2 and 10, it says, arise and depart, for this is not your rest. All right? You don't want to get caught up with the destruction of this place, man. But continuing on, and I hope that music ain't really loud on there, because it's really pissing me off, man. Nigga just come to stand on the goddamn water. If you can see this nigga, it's the only nigga that's standing by himself with his fucking windows down, car on. Fucking sick, man. Satan. But let me see. I'm gonna jump into the book of 2 Corinthians now. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and 17. It says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. All right, this is light. This is a light affliction that we're what we're going through right now, man. This is going to be as a nightmare that was over with, man. That was quickly over with, and it's going to be, you know, stories that Jacob is going to be telling, you know, our seeds, man. You know, our bloodline of all the things that we went through. All right, and we're not going to have to worry about these things anymore, man. That's the beauty of it, you know. That's what you should be chasing at this point in time, man. Chasing that eternal glory, man, not the temporary glory. All right. But it says, and it's going to say it right here in the next verse, verse 18, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. So like, let me read that again. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. All right. And that's where our it tells you in the book of St. Matthew, man. Where your heart is, that's where your treasure will be also. Where your treasure be, that's where your heart will be also. It's like, we're looking for the kingdom, man. As a hope, as a man of the Lord that's seeking to be a hopeful, hopefully elected. We're seeking for the kingdom, man. We're seeking for this place to be just completely destroyed and our kingdom to come, man. Where it's going to be peace, where it's going to be, righteousness, man. But it says again, I'm going to read it one more time. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal, man. Our kingdom is going to be eternal, man. That's why we're seeking for it. That's why we're waiting for it. Patiently, all right? But we understand that we have to, we have to work, man. We have to work, and we have to go through these trials and tribulations that the Lord is putting us through. These proving grounds for us. But, it's going to be over soon, man. Our salvation is nearer than what we believe. All right? But I think that was pretty much the point, man. I pray that this lesson was edifying. I'm trying to get out of here. I want to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushua, Ba'Hashem, Kakudash, that belongs to the elders and apostles of GMS who taught me the truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, you Akim, you Akwat, which is your brothers and sisters in the Hebrew that believe, man. And, depart from this place, man, spiritually. There's nothing to hold on here. It doesn't make sense to hold on to anything. All right, because whatever we lose here, we want to get it back 100-fold. Thus said the Lord. All right? But again, I pray that this lesson was edifying. Shalom.